What if I told you that if I lost everything today and had to start completely from scratch, I'd still be confident that I could make my first 1,000 online within the next 30 days? No audience, no business, no expensive courses, and definitely no get-rich-quick scheme. Because making money online isn't about luck. It's about having a plan and executing it consistently. Hey, I'm Liam, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I'd approach making my first 1,000 online if I had to start from zero today. And no, this isn't some unrealistic blueprint. This is a practical approach that focuses on simple opportunities and steady progress. Let's get started. The first thing I wouldn't do is chase 10 different ideas at once. That's where most beginners fail. One week, they're interested in dropshipping. The next week, it's crypto. Then Amazon FBA. Then some AI trend they saw online. And after months of switching, they end up with nothing. Not because those methods don't work, but because they never stayed focused long enough. So I'd keep things simple. My only goal would be making the first 1,000. Not 10,000, not $1 million, just $1,000. Because small wins create momentum. Now, if I were starting from zero today, I'd focus on opportunities that don't require huge investments. One of the first things I'd consider is affiliate marketing. You don't need your own product. You simply recommend products or services people already use and earn commissions when someone signs up through your link. Another option is selling digital products. Templates, planners, guides, ebooks, and simple resources can be created once and sold repeatedly. I'd also look at print on demand. No inventory, no warehouses. Products are only printed when customers buy them. And then there's content creation. Not because content pays immediately, but because attention has become one of the most valuable assets in the world. A YouTube channel, a blog, or even short videos can eventually become long-term income streams. The goal isn't to depend on one thing forever. The goal is to build one source and use it to create the next, because that's how wealth grows. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Making money online isn't really about money. It's about solving problems. Businesses solve problems. Products solve problems. Content solves problems. The more value you create, the more opportunities appear. And that's why I wouldn't spend weeks searching for secrets. Instead, I'd spend my time learning and taking action. I'd dedicate the first week to research, understanding different opportunities, learning from people who have already done it, studying what works, and avoiding common mistakes, because information is everywhere. But execution is rare. During the second week, I'd start building. Maybe I'd create my first digital product. Maybe I'd set up a website. Maybe I'd start publishing content. The important thing is momentum, because waiting for perfection is one of the biggest reasons people never get started. Perfection kills progress. Action creates progress. By the third week, I'd focus on getting exposure. Sharing content, posting consistently, joining communities, talking to people, learning from feedback. Most beginners expect instant results. But the internet rewards consistency, not luck, not shortcuts. Consistency. And by the fourth week, I'd focus on improving whatever was already working. Maybe one piece of content starts getting views. Maybe one affiliate offer performs better than others. Maybe one product gets attention. That's where I'd double down. Because success usually leaves clues. And instead of constantly starting over, I'd build on what already works. Now let's talk about money, because $1,000 sounds huge when you're starting. But when you break it down, it becomes much more realistic. 30 days means roughly $33 per day. That's it. $33. Suddenly, the goal doesn't feel impossible anymore. Maybe you sell one digital product. Maybe you earn affiliate commissions. Maybe a side hustle brings in extra income. The point is that small numbers add up quickly. Most people focus too much on huge goals. I wouldn't. I'd focus on the next step. Because success compounds. $100 becomes $200. $200 becomes $500. and eventually you reach 1,000. Another thing I'd avoid is comparing myself to people making millions online. Social media makes it easy to feel behind, but comparison is dangerous. Because you're comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Everyone starts somewhere. Nobody begins at the top. And most successful people spent years building before anyone noticed them. So I'd ignore the noise and stay focused. I'd remind myself that progress matters more than speed. And here's something else. I wouldn't spend the first money I make. Most people celebrate too early. They buy things they don't need, then wonder why they're still stuck. Instead, I'd reinvest. Better tools, better education, better systems. Because every dollar invested into growth increases your future potential. And over time, your income starts growing naturally. Now let's talk about something nobody likes hearing. Consistency. Because everyone wants results. But very few people want repetition. People get excited on day one, then lose motivation after a week. But motivation is unreliable. Systems are reliable. I wouldn't depend on feeling motivated. I'd depend on habits. Showing up every day. Learning every day. Improving every day. Even if progress feels slow. Because slow progress is still progress. And most people quit right before things start working. That's why patience matters. Success isn't usually one giant breakthrough. It's small actions repeated consistently. And eventually, those actions compound into results. The first $1,000 is often the hardest, because before that, you're fighting uncertainty. You're wondering if any of this will work, but once you make that first 1,000, something changes. Now you have confidence, now you have proof, and proof creates momentum. The second 1,000 often comes faster, and the third usually comes even faster, because you've learned, you've improved, and you've built experience. So if I had to start over today, this is exactly what I'd do. Focus on one goal. Build simple income streams. Take action immediately. Stay consistent. Reinvest in growth. And repeat. No magic tricks. No overnight success. No secret formulas. Just patience, consistency, and smart decisions. Because making money online isn't about finding shortcuts. It's about becoming someone who creates value. And valuable people rarely struggle to make money. If you enjoyed this video and want more content about making money online, side hustles, passive income, AI tools, and personal finance, make sure to subscribe. I'm Liam, and I'll see you in the next video.